Previously on 2 Past Midnight. The other one that was up to the front that was incapacitated by damage, you notice he's still alive.
Merrick's gonna move him over to one of the trees and chain him to one of the trees.
What's the play?
I'm gonna talk to this man. You were arresting Polish citizens under what authority?
Under what authority? They were dangerous. They were collaborating with insurgencies.
So those markings are supposed to be like NATO biolabs, and Shepherd's Flock is trying to get a hold of them and release them?
Well, he said he didn't know what the markings were, but that's the best I could gather.
You guys remember where we left off, basically, last time?
Story bombs falling all over the place like artillery rounds.
Yep.
And then I think we were just kind of all hitting sleep. Yeah, we were rotating sleep shifts, and everybody was trying to get back to where we could actually function as human beings after the firefight we had.
Yep, that's pretty much it. I think it was actually LT and Merrick were up on watch, and Emmett and Murphy were crashed out. And I don't think I got a recon roll yet from whoever it is that's rolling it. I don't think we did a recon roll yet. But
because Novak was going to go help LT because he's garbage at watch.
Right. So then that's the question: is who's helping whom is helping who?
Merrick's on recon.
Somebody on the show is an owl.
But before we do that, Kyle, you were saying something about after thinking about last week's recording.
Yeah, I was I'm glad you brought this up.
Evidence.
Yeah, so I was just saying we need to give you a few more flowers, because I just kind of kept circling back to how you used my goblin tree to place a breadcrumb and things like that, and then the full circle ability of the story and stuff like that. The more I think on it, the more impressive, and the more I really enjoyed last week's session. Even though I got shot in the head.
It was the results of being shot in the head. You were shot in the head the episode before that.
True.
And it pinged off your helmet. You were fine.
Yeah, but you had to wait 4 weeks to find out.
It was a long time to find out.
And the irony of, there was a small amount of time where that helmet was kind of an obsession of my characters, and the fact that it is the only thing that prevented him from dying.
Oh, yeah.
The only fact that my life hung in the balance upon it would have been fitting if that's what caused death.
Well, that's really interesting, because then, you almost intentionally built Chekhov's gun into the situation at that point.
Yeah.
The obsession with the helmet, and then finally, bing, it saves your life.
Yep.
It did, too. Well, roll me a D10. I'm just curious. We never rolled the D10 for what the crit would have been. And that'd be interesting.
Oh.
That's awesome. A 7.
Bad.
Yeah, I'm
Coloring books for
that's
Christmas.
bad.
A 7 is coloring books for Christmas forever.
A 7 is brain hemorrhage.
Yeah.
It is lethal.
That's
You might die in a
bad.
stretch. And all intelligent skills get a -1.
Brian was right. Coloring books.
Coloring books for Christmas from then on.
Yeah.
Ironically, my recon would have gotten even worse.
I was going to say I didn't know they went to negative numbers.
Exactly.
Yeah.
Well, no, it's just any skill you roll takes a -2. So, regardless of what it is, if you have a D in intelligence and a A in recon, you're taking a -2.
Yeah, I'm rolling D's and D's. No
knock
matter what
that A
from here on
down to
out.
a C. So,
But you
was
can't
making it
heal
funny.
from it after 3d6.
yeah.
I'm better from my brain hemorrhage.
Yeah. I mean, that happens. People slowly get better.
Oh yeah.
Speaking of which, there should be like another roll that happens to see if like that's permanent or if it's like, if whatever the effect was is permanent or if you actually heal from it and you're, Yeah.
Well, some of these are permanent.
I know.
Like gouged eye is permanent.
Yep. Yeah, that is permanent, right? Isn't it gouged eye? Permanent. Yep. Yeah. That's a good point. Some of them are permanent. So.
Good call.
Anyway, but yes, so we open back up at the camp. It is now, we've gone through the day shift at this. No, it was morning. We went through the morning shift. Yeah.
So we should be going into afternoon.
Yeah. So we're going into the daytime when everyone
and this should mean that everybody in our group has had sleep, has had food, has had water, so we all are back to straight on all of that stuff.
Sure.
Right?
Everybody roll me a stamina roll.
You son of a bitch.
Why are you the way you are?
Just let me know what you get. It is pushable too, by the way.
I got a 9. A single success.
Oof, 6 and a 1.
Is this pushable?
Yes, it's pushable.
I got a 4.
Okay.
I got 4 successes.
Okay.
Jeez.
Jeremy.
And I got a 10.
Okay.
On the push.
Somebody else roll me a C. Yeah, so just a C.
I got it.
I got it.
You got it.
I got it. 5.
Okay. That's what I needed. All right, so it is... Oh, go ahead, Jeremy. Go ahead.
Recon? Question mark?
Yeah, go ahead and roll recon.
With a +1 from LT? Or no?
Yeah, +1 from LT. That's fine.
I got a 12 and a 3.
Okay. Yeah, so it was the morning shift was what you guys were doing your watch on. And we'll be going to the day shift, but it seems uneventful. What is your guys' plan? What do you guys want to do? You guys wake up?
We gotta go.
Yeah, no, we're moving.
We gotta go.
If everybody's up and we are able to move now like we are moving. I think we only have like 3 hexes to the east that we still have to make it.
I go up to Emmett. Hey, can I get that other copy of the map back? Do you need 2 of them?
I mean, no, you can. And I would give him the one that that came out of his book. They were identical except for the fact that he had marked where Hell on Wheels was on our map.
Yeah, and I'd remark it on the one you hand back to me, and I'm like, we're close. I think maybe we could, if we can't make it today, we're pretty close to coming up on that gas station.
Well, I mean, if we could try and push it and make it today, I mean, if you're saying there's a gas station there, that's a good place to try and hold up for the night.
Absolutely.
Anyhow.
I hear, nothing bad ever happens at gas stations, so it's a perfect place to go to.
Right.
But,
they're the safest
rested.
places in the post-apocalyptic world from what I've heard.
Glass on the outside does perfect. Yeah, you can't shoot through it or anything. But I think if we truck it, we're well rested, we're well fed. Even though we're hauling a dozen people with us, I think we can get there today by nightfall, make it a base of operations, and then investigate tomorrow morning. So I think if we head out right now and time it out, I think we should be all right. Because if I remember correctly, running through this area, it's fairly flat and easy to go, not a lot of terrain, so it really clears up heading that way.
No, well, I like your optimism and I like where your head's at. So
yeah, we've only had to backtrack 11 times on the way here. I'm just straight shot.
11 times, 2 near-death experiences, and one actual death experience, and then we should make it here.
Yeah, and then 26 refugees or whatever. So
I mean, we were worried about feeding them. They did go their own way. So
you did a good thing, man. You did a good thing.
So technically, in this shift of travel, the day one, you could get 1 hex away from it because you'll be able to travel 2 hexes. Because last time, I also pointed out that Emmett has healed from his crit. So you guys are no longer both the crits. So you're no longer slowed, and you should no longer be taking the negatives to mobility.
And it's open terrain.
Right. So then we should be able to move 2 per shift, right?
Unless you go in something other than roads or open. So like if you go straight northeast, it's open. If you go northeast again, open. If you go southeast instead, woods. So that would change that. And you wouldn't have the movement to go into that.
All right, so our plan is northeast, and then southeast into the Hell on Wheels hex that we got marked on the road there.
Right.
Yes.
Right? Okay, so that's our plan. Do you want me to mark the path of travel, or are you
I know if you're going to the open one, if you're going 2 hexes northeast, that's fine.
We go there and then there.
All right. Whoever's on watch then for this movement, roll me a whoever the scout, roll me a recon roll.
It's gonna be my boy Murph.
Murph.
A and a B.
Murph. Oh yeah.
Quit cheating, Chris.
9 and an 8.
9 and an 8.
Two
All right,
successes.
Yeah, give me 1 second.
You
Hold
saw
on.
it jump out of my.
I didn't
We
see
did
anything.
not.
We saw
heard it.
nothing.
Well, didn't you see me go like this?
I mean, you may be the greatest actor of all time. We don't know. Yeah, I mean.
Actually, you do know I'm not.
We also need a survival roll to not get lost.
We have
Is that me as well?
B. Ryan. I think you were our survival guy. B. Ryan.
Survival in it is my job. I have to survive. And it is a C and a C. I'm the highest one at a C and a C.
Mm-hmm.
I have a B and a D, so I think CNC is
Yes.
better.
Yeah,
CNC
CNC
Music
still.
Factory.
8 and a 4.
Nice.
1 success.
No lost. But 2 successes on spotting. Maybe good, maybe bad. Mm-hmm. With the amount that Adam is researching shit,
Yeah, he's really studying something like hard.
he's really digging into it.
I'm hoping my hope is as a player that he's actually just pulling the gas station map back up. Like I have this somewhere in a file somewhere.
Oh yeah.
Under places I've murdered NPC or PCs.
Yeah. I hope he's not looking for other character sheets for us. Like.
No, I was double checking how the symbols and the encounter cards were supposed to work, and that I thought I was right, and I was just making sure. So
Fun.
yeah, that's
fun.
Yeah.
That's yeah. I mean that honestly that could be to our benefit.
Brian turned into Jay Leno on it.
all right. So you're going 2 hexes to the northeast. Is your plan?
Yes.
Okay. All right. So you're going along, and you make that first 10 kilometers, and everything seems pretty normal. Nothing really jumps out at you. Actually, I'm going to do something cool here.
Well, that's good.
It's
That's what we
rare.
need. Nothing jumping out at us.
Yeah, nothing jumping out at you. Somebody roll me a D10. I'm going to do something I don't do a lot, but I'm going to do it because it's fun.
I've got that D10.
All right.
I rolled a 7.
All right. So as you're going along through that open area, you actually make it into that next 10 kilometer hex. So you make it 20 kilometers. And as you're going along, there's like a redness comes over to the yellow grass, stretching into the horizon as the sun descends on yet another day. Clouds, like darkened cotton candy, are pulled across the sky in striations of deep blue and purple. It could be the subject of a painting, and perhaps in another time it might have been. Only slouching telephone poles now speak of the presence of man. And you can kind of see that behind you.
That's really pretty.
It's doing the mood elements. I don't do them that often. And I was like, fuck it. Let's do it. But up ahead, Chris, you see a small cluster of buildings. It's actually like 8 houses, kind of like near each other. And you can see some people around. It looks like it's a small village. You noticed them before they seem to have noticed you, but you can see people with shotguns and pistols and shit like that are kind of like guarding it, keeping watch like everyone is.
So, a lot of activity.
Not a lot of activity. Yeah, you actually notice like 4 people that are kind of patrolling around it.
Okay. So he stops and makes his way back to Emmett and these guys, and we got a village up ahead, and they actually have a bit of a patrol, or guards at least, and they are armed.
I remember this from before. It was just a sleepy little village. I don't think I ever went in there just because I didn't speak the language and I was kind of skirting around, but I believe I remember seeing that. It was just a few buildings, I don't know, probably just some podunk little town with a couple families in it.
Well, I think I saw at least 4 armed. This is usually where we send Merrick in because he seems to love to do this, but
If anything, it's a good place for information to understand what is going on in the area. Or possibly, maybe we can trade for food or water.
Yeah, or ammunition or anything. I mean, also with it being so close to where you said the said gas station is, I mean, they may have. Who knows if they may have interacted with Keanu, his unit, or what?
Very true.
It's a good place to start investigation if very close to,
I mean, that is
last sighting.
That is your expertise. So,
I mean, you're the bait we send in. If it's okay with you, it's okay with me, because all I got to do is sit back here and watch you get in trouble.
he ain't been in trouble yet. So,
Yeah, it's true. He was simply just shoot off into
I mean, it's up to you. I don't want to send you into something you don't want to go into.
No, I am okay with going in. There's no problem. This goes into it. I think people are generally okay, we go talk to them. As long as I do not cause any threat to them, hey, this should be good.
Maybe, yeah.
I'll be happy to post up and give you cover if you'd like.
I would like. Trust but verify is, I think, what one of your politicians said one time.
It's a good rule of thumb.
Yeah, I go talk to them, but if things go bad, does not hurt. If
Do you still have the sniper rifle, or did I take that back?
I still have rifle, but I will not take with me to town. Does not.
That's kind of what I was thinking too.
It's not necessary.
Here, I'll take it, because then we can have 3 staring down scopes versus the normal 2.
You did have hunting rifle.
Yeah. So.
But I will leave these here. I will take only pistol.
Okay.
As just in case.
Now, if you're in trouble, what's the signal again?
I wave my arms over a head very crazy like.
Okay.
Wood pigeon is too quiet to carry these for.
Nah, I just do it real loud. Oh, actually, I need to have you guys roll for the distance that it was spotted at. So somebody roll me a
Best or worst?
It's open terrain, so it would be 2d10. Somebody roll me 2d10.
Weatherman?
Gotcha.
Which, by the way, I realized I should be using that same encounter distance when you guys are hunting, for like when it is that you see the thing.
Oh, fun.
Yeah. Anyway, Kyle, go ahead.
2 6s.
2 6s, so that's 12. So that's 12 times 4. So is that right? That does not seem right.
48.
Yeah, about 480 meters. That's fine. Okay, so about half a click out is when you first see it, essentially.
That's not entirely unreasonable.
Yeah.
Okay.
Especially for like
In open terrain.
Yeah.
Because just because it's open
and then
doesn't mean there's
with a scout sniper.
Yeah.
That's like 500 yards.
Yeah.
Yeah, no, that's totally, that makes sense. Okay.
Okay. It was almost exactly the average. If you'd rolled a 5 and a 6, it'd have been exactly the average.
I'd like to think I'm just a bit above average.
Yeah. So you guys want to stay at the 480 meter distance to watch him as he goes in?
Is that the second range increments of the drag?
That's like.
No, wait, that's
What is the range on the Dragunov?
10.
10. Okay, so the next one's double that. So it's
I was going to say it's like a third.
8. Let me double check, because the way range increments
Actually,
aren't
it's
like
the
100, 200. Yeah. No, that's what I'm saying. It's not 100, 200, 300. It doubles out.
Yeah.
It's-
Right. So 100, 200, 400.
100 to 200 would be the second range increment. 200 to 400 is the third range increment, if I remember correctly. Let me double check.
And you said this is 480, right?
Right. I'm just making sure that.
So if we came in 80 yards, we would be at the second range increment.
Right.
Or 80 meters,
Right,
sorry.
right. Meters,
And
yards.
Then we'd be at the...
What are these meters you speak of?
What are these yards you speak of?
yards.
Yeah, so up to twice the medium range, twice the short range is called medium, up to twice the medium range is called long range, and up to twice long range is extreme. So,
Beyond extreme is right.
which is
out.
8 times the, 8 times, 4 times. So yeah, that's basically extreme range. So it'd be -1, -2, -3 on the range.
But if we crept up to 400, we'd just be -2.
Yes.
Perfect. Thank you.
Yes, if we totally metagamed it and went to 400.
But that would be right to the end of it.
But that would be something that Murph hypothetically would know.
Yeah. You get a little bit closer if you wanted to.
Yeah.
I mean, honestly, 500 yards is... That's pushing it for an average marksman. I mean, that means Murph would be the only one that would be able to cover me. So to get more rifles to cover, it would make sense to move up a little bit.
Right. Well, and we haven't been spotted, but anytime, if we are moving up, we are going to end up incurring another roll.
Right, and that would be
Right.
at the lowest one, but they're going to get a bonus for the distance.
Right.
Bonus for distance. You're good.
Bonus.
You're good, LT. You're good.
For distance.
I fell out of a window
Yep.
sneaking around, remember?
Yeah, but 400 yards or 400 meters, that's going to be a good bonus.
Yeah, I hear you.
It'll be like a +2.
This is my
+2,
confident
I
face.
guess.
So
Six
to go to get back
six
to get back into first, we have to get back to 100
+2.
meters.
Yeah.
You'd get a +2 recon modifier at that distance.
Yeah, it'd be
up
too
into 21 hexes, which is 210 meters.
I mean, to be honest, I don't think it's the worst thing if they see some of us approaching and we send him in by himself. It's not like it's...
I don't know. If we're trying to assume not threatening, a single person by himself that is mildly armed or practically unarmed in the scenario is better than somebody going in unarmed with backup.
It depends on how we want to go about it, right? Do we want to go about where we
Right.
post up on Overwatch on them and they don't know we're there? Or do we
Yes.
walk up as kind of a group and then he's the speaker of the group and then we seem more non-threatening?
I think I would say that we do not need the numbers as a show of force because we do not have all that much force to show. You know, if we had a dozen men well armed and with vehicles, yes, show up and show of force. But, you know, like 3, 4, 5 men with rifles, with a bunch of civilians with melee weapons. Show up one, and then make sure the coast is clear, then the rest. I think would be the best way. That way the rest of the civilians are, you know, relatively safe.
That's a fair assessment.
We do not have enough rifles.
Never enough rifles.
It's not true. They just got blown up, you know.
So what's your guys' plan?
The rest will stay in hiding and Merrick will go up alone.
And we're going to try and move up to the somewhere in that second range increment to only incur the -2 instead of -3 or more.
Yes. He will wait till they are in position and then move up.
Okay. Kyle, roll me a
Recon
recon
+2.
roll. Add a +2. And yours is pushable.
An 8 and a 7, 2 successes.
Okay. All right, so you guys start moving up closer.
I was planning on failing that and not pushing.
And tell me what that looks like. You guys setting up in position as Merrick goes, walking forward the rest of the way. So you guys get up to about that 400-meter mark. Because that's what you're doing, right? The not medium range, long range, right?
Yeah, we're moving somewhere into
Okay.
that. I mean, we're all just going to kind of move, kind of using what we had learned from the ambush. So we all now have Dragonoffs basically, and we're going to kind of fan out, try and see where we can get the best level of cover, along with sight lanes, and then all kind of fan out and keep an eye on our guy when he's ready to move in.
Captain Emmett,
Yeah.
do not forget that these are probably just people. Just trying to stay safe out here.
No, and that's why I asked what the signal was. You let me know when you need help. I'm not sending anything downrange until then.
Okay. Okay.
Okay?
When I take my coat off, if I take my coat off, we will take that as signal, okay?
Okay.
So wait, he's not waving his hands?
No, he'll take his coat off.
Better yet, I will take it off now because it is summertime and daytime is warm when I drop coat. Does that sound good?
Okay. Yeah, that makes sense, because then if they tell you to put your hands up or they start getting threatening or whatever,
It's easy to
it's
see.
easy enough to just... Yeah, well, and it's not going to cause them to possibly just shoot you where you stand.
And we'll free up.
Moving all around taking your coat off might...
Right.
So who's watching him for the signal and who's doing slow aim on somebody else?
I think... Well...
Just asking.
Cap?
I'll stay glued to him.
You trusted me with what?
So you're going to flag him the whole way.
Yeah.
I mean, you could watch him with the binoculars, honestly. And then
My plan was Murph was going to target the one closest to him that has a weapon drawn on or aimed on him. Because usually it's like one guy's like, okay, you keep an eye on him, and blah blah.
well, that's when they get that close. But if before that, that's why I'm asking. All right, so you're going to be watching him with your scope.
He would train on first available target
Yeah, that's trained on him.
in a threatening position. So won't Bruce. Bruce will train on next available target, and then Emmett will stay on Novak to see and wait for the signal.
So wait, if he drops the coat, that means we shoot. What's the signal for?
Yes.
Come on up here, everything's fine.
He waves us up.
Or he comes and gets us. One of the
It
two.
will sound like.
That's when the wood pigeon comes out. I like it.
At 400 meters away.
I mean, it can be something simple, right? Like, I've got blue overalls at 2:00. Okay, you got red flannel at 10:00.
No, I know. But what I'm saying is while he's on the approach, if shit goes sideways before they're, like, side by side, who's watching Merrick for the signal? That's what I'm saying. Or are you watching the targets?
That'll be Emmett.
Right. That was why I was asking.
Emmett stays on Merrick. You two pick out the first targets that become available. Try to pick different targets.
That's why I said we'll call it out.
Yeah.
All right. So, Merrick.
Starts walking up.
The rest of y'all move into the prone position, I'm assuming, so you get a +2 instead of just the +1 for your slow aim.
Oh, gosh.
+2, -2 for range. And Merrick goes walking up. You get about 100 meters closer, Merrick. And you're not trying to hide at all.
No, he starts waving his coat over his head like, hello, hello.
So you're about 300 meters out, and one of them, like, you can see them talking to each other, and one of them starts to walk out towards you, and another one's like with them, but like back a little ways. And it's actually a woman that's walking up closer towards you. And she's walking towards you, and the other person's back like 20, 30 meters from where that person is and kind of following out. And the other two people come around from the flank, and you can see them kind of like also watching this direction. And you're walking towards each other. You can see some trees around, because just because it's open doesn't mean it's completely nothing. It's like you'll see a little patch of trees. You'll see, some like burned up houses. You'll see, as you're going along, you go past this, like, looks like tanks drove through here, like a whole fucking convoy of tanks at some point went through here. And they're walking towards you. This woman is. You guys are about 200 meters away from each other now. 50 meters. You can just see them going towards each other. Sun setting in the back behind Emmett and Murph and LT. The rest of the civilians from your group are back there with Dr. Dolinsky. And that woman's got the shotgun just kind of like at the low ready, right, as she's coming up.
Murph, you get the lady. I don't want to shoot a girl. I'll get the other guy.
Roger that. I'm good with it.
I kind of knew you would be.
You get up and you're about 10 meters away, and she's like, you could stop right there. Who are you?
Okay.
And she repeats it in English. Like, who are you? You could stop right there.
My name is Marek Novak. I'm on my way to Zvolena.
Okay.
My daughter is there, and I saw your village here, or settlement, and I was hoping to find either some kind of information or possibly trade with you, or maybe even, if you would agree to it, possibly resting for a small amount of time.
And you can see the person behind her is like watching, kind of like behind you, and he's also got the shotgun up at like the low ready, just kind of like scanning behind you too. And she's like, come here to trade? You don't have... I mean, what all are you carrying with you? Because I know you came up like in a minimal...
Oh, yeah. He has a canteen on his hip, pistol in a holster, and his coat in his hand.
Yeah, and she's like, you don't look like you have very much to trade.
Ma'am, I don't mean to say this in a threatening manner, but I'm traveling with a decent-sized group. And there are more of us, but they're currently hidden for their own safety. Because we don't know you, you don't know us, and if anything goes awry right now, they can get away. And I'm the only one here.
So you're going to Zvolin, you say? What's in Zvolin?
My daughter. I was in Cracovia, and my reasons for being there were taken from me. And now I'm going to see my daughter. She's been in Zvolena for some time. She's with her in-laws there.
What's their name? Who's her in-laws?
They are... Insert name here.
Well, you didn't have one ready?
No, I didn't. I didn't have one ready.
You didn't have a name ready? Oh.
I didn't.
Okay.
I didn't.
How about...
you tell me.
All right.
I'll go with it.
All right. How about we go with...
They were military. Her father-in-law...
Grubich.
Was...
Grubich.
Grubish.
Grubich. Grubich?
Grubich.
You bitch.
Sure. Sure. Let me write that down so I don't forget that shit.
All right. Roll me a persuasion roll.
Let's not fuck
I had
this
Polish
up.
name generator already pulled up, so I was like, let me just pick one.
Nice. Thank you, sir.
You're welcome. I just thought I would throw the player under the GM bus for a second that I get thrown
I knew
under.
what you were doing. I knew exactly what you were doing.
What's the name of this town? I don't fucking know.
Do I get any bonuses?
Oh shit! Yeah, let's. You want to look over
Bonuses and
the
negatives.
social conflict things real quick? All right. So you're basically asking for safe passage of some sort, essentially.
Safe passage. Yeah.
Yeah.
At the minimum.
At the minimum, but or potentially trade or whatever.
Information would also. Yeah.
Information would also be good. All right. So you have more people on your side. Not really, because they have a whole fucking town of people, of 6 houses worth of people.
It's me and 2 other people at the moment.
Yeah, so we'll just say it's... Yeah, we'll just call it flat. Let's see. What you ask for doesn't cost your opponent anything. Okay, your opponent... No, I'm not going to give you a bonus for that. Nope. Haven't suffered damage risks. They're not sick. Held captive by you. Nope. You haven't helped them previously. You present your case very well. I'll give you a +1.
Oh. Nice. Let's see. Do I get any bonuses for what's happening right now? Nope. Okay.
Yeah.
+1. We're looking at an A and a B. A 9 and an 8. So 2 successes.
All right. So she says to you, she says, I know the Grubics in Swollen. Your daughter, her name is, do you have a name yet?
No, I didn't. I really neglected the girl in this scenario. I feel bad.
Amelia?
That works.
Okay, Amelia. Sure. So your daughter is Amelia?
Yeah. That's my daughter, Amelia.
Yes.
Do you know her?
Well, we were at the wedding. I don't know if you remember us. Those are my cousins, actually.
Are they?
Yes.
There was a lot to drink.
Yes,
and,
very large wedding.
And I was giving away my daughter, and I indulged a bit too much.
I'm so sorry. I should have introduced myself. My name is Dominica, by the way.
Dominica.
Yes.
Oh, it's nice to meet
I apologize.
you. Yeah.
I don't know why I didn't recognize you. I should have, recognized you. But I guess it's been a long time.
It has been some years.
Yes.
Yeah, several years.
Feels longer. How many are in your group?
There are 9 and
There's 11
3.
total.
Yes. 11. There are 11 of us. There are mostly Polish, mostly Poles.
And then the 3 NATO guys, yeah.
There are a couple NATO soldiers with us.
A couple NATO, I assume they're not in the command structure at this point, it seems like.
Not that I know of, no. They do not appear to be. They seem to be freelancers or on their own. The one man is looking for his son, and there is a tank near here that they're looking for.
A tank?
Yes. So we are investigating his disappearance, trying to track down his son. They say there is a tank that is...
At the gas station?
Yeah. Do you know this?
Yes, we know. We've gone out looking for supplies from time to time. There was a tank. I mean, it's been exploded, blown up, detonated of some sort.
Oh, no.
So...
Was it in a battle? Do you know?
I do not know. It's been severely damaged, so I don't know. But it appeared that someone had hit it with explosives of some sort. I don't know.
Blown up. Okay. But you know where it is?
Yes, of course.
This man would be very interested in taking an escort there or a guide to it.
10 kilometers-ish around there, like east of here on the main road, the highway, heads north.
Oh, good.
Whatever that
Good. Okay.
highway number is.
Do you have any other information on what is happening in the area with the Russian soldiers or NATO soldiers or the Brotherhood or...
The shepherd's flock you speak of?
I keep calling them the Brotherhood because that's Forbidden Lands.
Yeah.
Playing Fallout, Brotherhood of Steel.
Yeah.
I mean, the Brotherhood actually wouldn't be a bad name for them, but we've seen them occasionally from time to time. For the most part, they leave us alone. But we've seen them ride through in the area. Mostly they've been on horseback or whatever vehicle they might have been able to scavenge up.
Okay.
But we try not to go too far out unless we need to go for some supplies and or hunt, something like that. Because if you keep hunting in the same hex, you're supposed to take a -1.
Right.
For the second time you hunt.
Away repeatedly.
Yeah.
Yes.
In the same hex.
That makes sense.
Yep.
Yeah.
Rules is written.
Hunting pressure. That totally makes sense.
Keeps you from
It's a
just
common
Oregon
problem.
trailing it.
Yeah. You have to wait a week and then that negative goes away. Yeah. But anyway, if you would like, you can tell the rest of your group to approach.
Merrick turns around and waves his coat over his head.
Drops his coat and pop, 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 pop.
Just about to say.
I open fire.
On Merrick.
Wait, what sign was that again, Murph?
Don't shoot.
I thought so. I just wanted to check.
By the way, I was going to suggest one of the NPCs watch through the binoculars while you guys aim at them, but I didn't want to tell you what to do. So,
We found them to be unreliable.
Yeah, but
Dr. Dolinsky.
well, and they can't push rolls, and you roll, and
Dr. Dolinsky. He's
if I'm gonna die or I'm gonna shoot somebody, it's gonna be under rolls that I make.
I'll roll for my own demise. Thank
It'll
you.
be my shitty rolls, not your shitty roll.
It's less about his role. It'd be less about their role and more about like, hey, he dropped his coat. You know what I mean? That's a signal or something along those lines. All right, so you guys see him wave back to you all.
That way?
You guys gonna let the rest of the civilians know that we're in?
No, no. I think the three of us would approach behind Merrick before we brought the rest of the group up.
That's on you guys. What do you want? That's what you want to do?
Because I mean, we're the way I see it is we're the combat force, and if they were gonna, you know what I mean, pull out the rest of the group and then lay waste to us, at least those folks could get away.
Mm-hmm.
So
Well,
I'd say we do it in phases.
then leave the binoculars with one of them so that we can wave them up. It's like we're gonna be talking to these Polish villagers and be like, but wait, there's more.
Yeah, and then Boleslav has the binoculars, and he's back watching you guys with Felix, right? Felix, yeah, Felix, and they're watching you all head up, and you guys get there. Fast forward, doodle doodle doodle. Hello, I'm Dominica. I was just speaking with your friend Merrick.
Captain Emmett, this is actually a cousin of my daughter's in-laws. So she is like family. It's good fortune.
Oh man, the Lord has smiled upon us yet again.
One of you is, he said something about looking for your son?
Yeah, that'd be me. His Hell on Wheels Tank Brigade. Bruce here thought he had seen his tank possibly at a gas station.
Yes, there's a gas station on the main highway, just southeast of here, about 10 kilometers or so. It has been exploded, so it is not in the best condition. Hopefully he's not inside. I don't know. We have not investigated inside. That is just the intel that we've been given. He said there were more people with you. He said 11 in total.
Where are the rest of the people? Where are the Poles?
we didn't give them the signal just to, you know, with them being the civilians that they are. We just wanted to make sure everything was on the up and up before we put them in the line of fire.
But it seems like everything's good, so I'll go back and grab them.
Appreciate it, Bruce.
I like how LT's filling the role of a private, by the way. But anyway, run back and get the rest of them.
I mean, that,
He knows his place.
yeah, based off of his level of experience in this world that he is in, I really feel like he's fallen into what he can do.
All right, so we see LT go running back, and
I gave signal. Why is not everyone? You know, it's fine. I am not military man.
Abundance of caution. That's all. That's all. I don't wager civilian lives on anything.
so the rest of your group is all Poles. Is that correct? Yes. Yeah.
Yes.
I don't know. Did we run them all through Ancestry.com?
I was thinking more about the because of Shepherd's Flock and things of the sort. It's the occasional Soviets that might come through. It's
The rest of them are Poles, yes. I did not run them through Interpol,
no.
but I did not have access to a computer.
You did not do Ancestry.com on there.
No, it's
You
non-existent
didn't do
yet. Computer.
DNA swab and
No, that is not thing yet. Not particularly.
No, I was just trying to think of how many people we may have to hide if something
So
happened.
far, only 3.
Right, but those also appear to be the most.
So then the town you got here isn't like overrun with Shepherd Flock or
No,
nothing?
for the most part, we get left alone. We're kind of in the what's the English word for this? Boondocks, something along those lines.
His country is out in the
Yes.
middle of
I don't know.
nowhere.
The Soviets we ran into there a couple clicks back. They said that the town just south on the highway to your west was all Shepherd Flock. But
Skorzysko,
I mean, we
Kamiena.
can't confirm or deny that ourselves. That was just based off of what we had
Yeah,
found.
the rumors we've heard coming from there is the Shepherd's Flock definitely has been there, but it's little ways away. They don't come up here. There's no need for them. They don't. Nothing useful here,
Right.
So
Right.
We're just small village.
Well, and if you're all, I mean, national-born citizens, they probably just leave it to
Yes,
your own.
they leave us alone for the most part. I mean, that may not always be the case, but it has been up to this point.
For
So,
now.
Yes.
Huh? Now is best case.
Right. If you want, you can join us. We can always use extra help with security if any of you are willing to assist on that. We do not have very many combat-ready adults as it is.
Some of the Poles have farther to go, like myself. I have a little bit farther to go. I do not know how long anyone is willing to stay here, or the player does not know how many of them are going to break off from here and go their own direction.
I understand. I was just perhaps if you would be a friendly village. Is my point.
We do, yes, we appreciate the hospitality. It's very kind of you, yeah. We still have some time in the day. Perhaps we can go to this tank and investigate tank.
Actually, we are
For
heading
it?
into evening now. Anything else after this
it's
would be evening.
getting very late.
Yeah, it is. Like that's why I was
Okay.
like, the sun is setting behind you.
Right.
The sun's getting real low.
Did we establish on whether or not we could, what level of, if they have any kind of like trade or anything like that we might be able to do with them?
Yeah, we do have some supplies we'd be willing to trade, potentially depending on what you might have that you're willing to trade with. He came up and mentioned trade and had canteen and a coat. That was pretty much it. And I was like, I have a coat. And it's summer. So. But yeah, no, it does seem like they could be willing to trade. It depends on what you're looking for. They're not going to have like fucking everything. You know what I mean? Like they would have based on the player's manual supplies.
Common.
Yeah, like common stuff would be where they'd be at. So
That'd be up to the loot goblin to figure out what we can spend and what we need.
Tell you what we need, but I don't think we can get it.
A car?
No.
We could really use a car. I feel like, or some kind of wheeled transportation. It's been a minute. since we've had a vehicle.
Yeah, I would say common items would be about what you'd be able to get from here. That's what you'd be able to trade people for. Not any assault rifles or submachine guns, or they would have assault rifles or submachine guns when they're on watch. Or anti-personnel mines. So there's a maybe on these things.
Right. Well, the thing for me is Emmett needs M60 rounds because I spent every last one of them on the previous fight.
And more Dragunov rounds would
You have
always be
zero.
I have 0 for the M60.
Oh.
I spent every last one that I had on keeping us alive. Pretty much myself alive and
All
killed
right, so
Brit.
according to the rules, you would roll a d6, right? And if it's the result is a 3 or higher, the item is available. So,
Really?
yes. So that's how that works. Yeah.
Okay, Kyle, what would we have to trade, though, for M60 rounds?
We ain't got
do we
nothing. I
have
got
in the
it.
inventory?
So
Ammo's a 1-to-1.
So if you need a place to stay for the night, we have some empty rooms. Perhaps you could sleep in if you wish, or you would have to stay with one of the families here. We have about 3 dozen or so people that live in these houses.
That's very kind of you.
Of course. We have some food if your people are hungry. Or if they've already eaten today, maybe tomorrow.
Tomorrow.
Very kind of
possibly.
you. Very kind of you.
That's exciting.
Have anything worth
Working
anything
on
now? I appreciate it.
Murph says to her, Dominica, I'd be happy to help with security. Do the rest of your people speak English?
Hold on. Let me roll a die. Some of us, most of us do speak English. That is, this town is generally friendly towards Westerners, so a lot of us learned English along the way. For the most part of this town, our village was not very happy under Soviet rule, so...
If you have someone specific that kind of schedules or is in charge of your security, I'd be happy to walk it with them and help.
That's me.
Oh. Okay, sorry. I thought you were doing this. Yeah, we can, put guy here. I'll be over here.
Okay. Sure. That would be useful if you would like to assist in watch at all. What kind of expertise do you have?
Plenty.
That is not very descriptive.
It is not. It is not very. I was also military, by the way.
He in a previous life was a tree trimmer, gardener,
Landscaper.
He was a logger. Let's be honest. He was a logger.
I was with the teams in the U.S. military, so specifically a sniper.
Okay, great. I mean, if you want, we could potentially put you on top of one of the 2 stories houses, maybe, and you could get the better view from there. That'd be a good tactical location. You get a good vantage point, the high ground.
That sounds great. I always like a good perch. If at some point you could have somebody bring me up some food, I would be greatly appreciated.
No problem. No problem. We can do that. And all of this is like as they're walking towards the town. The other guy that was with her has like started to head like to meet.
Do they have a well or a tap or water here?
Yes, we do have water. But if you need to refill your canteens, maybe.
Yes, please.
Yes, that would be amazing.
Most of us have wells. That's kind of pretty common in this part of.
That doesn't mean you can get it out of the well.
That is true. That is true. Our wells are still wet. Is that the right way to say it?
Sounds gross, but yeah.
They are not dry, if that helps. But yeah, so as you get up there, it's like this is a small little, few houses. What did I say before? 8 houses, I think, in total.
Yes.
Yeah.
You said like a dozen families.
Yeah, like 3 dozen. It was like 3 dozen people in general. But I mean, like a third of that is like kids, and like, some of it's elderly, and there's a mismatch of, like I said, combat aged adults. And as you're getting closer, you actually notice that one of the people that was also on watch that goes passing you to go out there with the other dude that went out to meet the rest of the civilians as they're coming in, is like 15, maybe 14 or 15, but he has a pistol too, and he's on watch with everybody else. And you guys get into the houses. It's all like couple 1-story houses and a couple 2-story, but for the most part it's 1-story. They have like 2 2-story houses, so I guess it's more than a couple 1-story. She's like, that one right there would be a good place for you. What was your name again, sir?
Murph.
That spot would be good. I'll send someone up with some food if you want.
That'd be great. If I see anything, just a little whistle. Does that work for you guys?
That would be fine. Yes. The rest of you, we can get you some lodging if you want. And you can kind of see like other people are coming out. Like you can see little kids coming out of the houses and kind of like watching you. Another kid watching you all come into town, into the village, like through a window, and just kind of like ducks back down.
Emmett gives him a little half salute, looking at him.
He does the same half salute back. You see this elderly man just sitting there on like some steps that go up into this house. And he just kind of has his head down, and he's just swaying a little bit. And she's like, yes, if you want, we could figure out. I don't know if you all want to stay in the same place. The 3 of you, it seems like you are together.
I mean, if it's all the same to you, I wouldn't mind setting up there close to Murph while he's keeping a watch.
That's
out.
fine. That's fine. There's a couple extra rooms on the first floor there if you want to stay there. And she says something in Polish to this gentleman that's standing there at that house, and it's like says something to him, basically like, hey, do you mind if they? I'm saying this because Jeremy would know. Do you mind if they stay at your in your extra room on the first floor? And he's like, oh yeah, sure, that's no problem. And she says back to you, she's like, yeah, he says it's no problem. You can stay in he has some extra space in what used to be a dining room, but no one really uses them for that anymore.
All right, well then I'd say we rally up there. I mean, if some of the other civvies want to fan out among houses, I just kind of wanted to stay close to where Murph was at. That's all.
Merrick is 100% going to impose on a distant relation.
A cousin, yeah.
By marriage.
And we can see the rest of the civilians, the rest of your guys' group, walking up towards the town, and behind them the sun's setting, and inside the houses you can just see like people are starting fires, more so just for light, you know what I mean? Like you can see like oil, like people burning candles, people, starting to head in that direction, so that at least they have some kind of light inside their houses. But they're also like drawing the curtains as they're doing it, to try to keep light from getting out, if you know what I mean, so that people don't spot them from real far away. And what, Jeremy?
It's more of a character. She would know about Jan.
His son?
Yeah.
Yeah. Okay. So you were gonna impose on her? At
Oh
her
yeah,
place?
yeah. He's totally gonna stay with her.
Okay.
Of course.
So I guess
She's
you
family.
can stay with me. I have we have a spare room at our house as well, and she takes you. It's like right beside the other one that they're staying at, and her kids are right there, and they come up and like act like fucking kids, and she goes inside, and she's like, yes, you can stay. We have a spare room that's not real comfortable.
It's fine.
There's the floor.
It's better than where we have been sleeping the last week, probably close to several days.
We cut up to Murph, and somebody comes up, and there's like a ladder on the back of the house that leads up to the top of it. And he comes up. He's like, I was supposed to bring you this food.
That's great. Thank you very much.
Of course. Thank you. And he clunk, clunk, clunk back down the ladder. And we see LT and Emmett. You guys are kind of... They show you the like area that used to be the dining room, like she said, and in the house. And, there's just kind of some refuse there and, like, what looks like a broken down table. Like, maybe they've been using whatever was left for, like, firewood when they need it, And the man says, if you can sleep in here if you need to. Do you need blankets or anything?
I mean, no. I think we're all right. I mean, it's plenty warm out with the weather as it is, and I mean, we're just much obliged to have roof over our head.
Of course. And we see the rest of the civilians that are with your group come in, and Dr. Dolinsky comes in and stays with you all at the same house with LT and Emmett, and cut over to back in with Merrick and Dominica. And she so how is your son? John? I said John. What is it? Jan, right? Jan?
His name is
Jan?
His name is was Jan.
Was. What happened to him?
We were in Cracovia, and the chits from the government, it only went so far, and there were hard times.
I've heard that it's many people have been trying to get there, but that it's kind of a difficult place still.
It's still a difficult place. The food only goes so far. As always, trade and barter is better. And now they're locking down the gates, keeping people out because they're afraid of the plague that is going around.
Yes, I've heard of this. Fortunately, we have not had anyone getting sick around here.
You're lucky. You're lucky. I've heard stories of it and seen some. Not too much. Most of it was outside the walls, but they had some people storming the gates because they had shut down, and they got turned into a riot. There were shots fired and just bad business all around. But
well, you were a police officer, no?
I was. I was with the local guard for a while before I left. But when Jan died, I didn't have a reason to stay anymore. So.
What did he get sick? Was it the plague that killed him?
No, in order to get enough, we were scrounging. And we would find junk to sell or possibly food to eat. But we would get a little bit here and there, and to try to help bridge the gap between what the chits could actually do. And one day we were out scrounging with another group of people, other neighbors, and we would share alike. But we went out. And I still, to this day, I do not know why it happened, but he was shot. And no one could tell where it came from. And, he died there. He was only 17. Who shoots a 17-year-old boy that's looking for junk? Why?
We end right there.
Good job, Jeremy.
That was awesome.
Thank you. Oh.
Sorry, my timing was awful.
Yeah, you missed the whole story, Kyle.
I'm sorry. Kids, my sorry.
And the
How
whole
dare you have
campaign
children.
now hinges on it, and you missed it. We're not catching you up.
You just have to listen with everybody else. If you or someone you love is struggling with combat-related PTSD, please call 877-717-7873. Again, that number is 877-717-PTSD. Or you can visit online ptsdusa.org. That's PTSD Foundation of America. If you call, you'll be immediately connected to a combat veteran who understands those experiences. And if you go to the website, they have in-person groups scattered throughout the United States. And if there isn't a peer group near you, they have online peer groups. Again, that's PTSD Foundation of America. If you're struggling, you don't have to go it alone.